Susul.
Welcome to Under the Plum Bob podcast, the podcast about all things related to the game access games called The Sims. We avoid the real world by talking about our made-up ones. Today, we're talking about careers across The Sims. I'm one of your hosts.
And you're gonna work. Sorry.
I'm one of your hosts, Marissa from Team Cowplant. Oh man, this is the one I'm editing too. Thanks, Vanity.
Wahaha. Hi, I'm, as you just heard, Vanity. Grab that water, they'll be singing. Boop.
And I'm the last one.
Where? Why you gotta say it like that?
Because I
I'm the
am.
last one.
But you're the most loved.
No, I'm not.
It's true.
I'm giving you hugs. What? I love you.
Ava,
that's why
you
I'm
are-
coming to be your roommate. Me and the two cats.
Oh God, yeah, you're coming to live with me in my shoebox.
It's gonna be
Ava,
great.
you are the backbone of this podcast, and don't think otherwise.
We're talking about careers today, guys, because, I mean, do you want to go to work? You want a Maserati? You want a Ducati? You gotta work, bitch. Yeah, that was my bastardized Britney Spears. You're welcome, Free Britney.
Hashtag free Britney.
Hashtag Free Britney. I haven't seen her much on Instagram lately, and I'm worried.
I know, me too. Oh, because she was like stumbling out of that hotel, and I feel like they got her back
They
back
totally
on the juice.
They totally
to keep
lassoed her
brainwashing
ass back in. They put her back in that juice,
Yeah.
like, gotcha, bitch. And we're like, Britney!
Yeah. Oh, poor
Someone
Britney.
needs to do an intervention.
Yeah. Anywho, free Britney. We're talking about jobs.
So, first of all, to rabbit hole or to not rabbit hole? That is the question. Because at the end of the day, the base of all jobs were, in Sims 1, you had no option. They were all rabbit holes. Because they had like 3 jobs. But as they got more, you got more options. But to get a job, if your Sim sits down, and in Sims 1, I think they fucking, like when you play the tutorial, they make you get a job like right from the start. They're like, open up the newspaper. Open up the papes. Get a job. So in Sims 1 and Sims 2, you can get a job from the paper. Or you can just like stroll up to the place and beg for a job. You're like, hi, I want to work here, please. And they're like,
In Sims 2?
okay. Yeah, Sims 2 and Sims 1, you can walk up to like the location and be like, I want to be where the people are. I want you to pay me money. And they're like, okay.
And Sims 3 too, because it was open
Could
world.
you walk up to the jobs in Sims 3?
Yeah, for sure. You would just go to whatever building it was, and it said, visit the building or apply for a job. Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
you
Oh, I
that.
miss visiting that.
You could also go to City Hall to register as self-employed.
Yes, I remember that.
Literally, pretty much any skill you had, you could do unemployed. You wanted to be a winemaker, nectar maker, you fucking could. You wanted to be a professional fisherman, you could. You wanted to be a farmer, you could do that.
And it
Wasn't
only
there an
took
egg
how
roll
long
machine?
to get that in Sims 4? Like 4 years?
Wasn't there an egg roll machine in Sims 3? Or am I just
Yeah,
making
I'm
that
pretty
up?
sure. No, I'm pretty sure there's something with... Or was it a fortune? It was a fortune cookie machine.
Yes,
right?
it was fortune cookie. Yes, because
I don't know how I remember that.
when you went to that vacation spot, you can get your fortune cookie machine. I wish it was an egg roll machine because I had an egg roll machine. Whew, boy. Anyway, okay. So you can also get it on all the platforms. You can get your job from the computer. I think you can also call for a job. I don't remember.
Maybe. I know on Sims 4, obviously, you can put it on your cell phone.
Yeah.
Like you just click. I feel like on Sims 4 it's super easy because you can do it from the cell phone, but then you can even just go to the job tab on your Sims information or whatever,
Join
and just
career.
choose a job there. Yeah, because I remember
Go ahead.
in Sims 1 and 2 or whatever, you were only able to see whatever jobs were available that day, whereas now in Sims 4 and I'm pretty sure in Sims 3, you have access to all the jobs. there's not a
Yes.
certain amount of jobs per day, basically.
So that brings me to this point. So in The Sims 3, that's the OG, by the way. I'm not putting a number behind it means it's the OG. In The Sims, 3 jobs are available from the computer and one's available from the newspaper. So if you didn't want that job, you had to like wait until like the next day to like reset it all.
Yep.
And then in Sims 2, 5 jobs are available from the computer and 3 from the newspaper. However, if you're in Sims 2, since there was university, if your sim got expelled from university, they only have 3 available jobs from the computer and 2 from the newspaper. So, like, if you,
That's crazy.
I guess, so like, oh, you can't work here because you were expelled. Which makes me really laugh. But yeah, so I thought that was so cool. Like, you had to like scroll through, like, I don't want any of these jobs. I guess I'll wait. Or you can go to the paper. But I hated the paper boy because I would never pick up my paper from outside. So they would just like pile up outside, and then they would like, we're stopping your service, and I was like, that's fine.
But they were so aggressive about it. They'd be like, we're not bringing another paper back until we clean these up. It's like, what the heck? Like, take that attitude out of my personal space, buddy. I do not need that kind of energy in my life right now. The paperboy energy.
Like, fuck you. So now there's like the fine print of jobs, like, because when you get a job, like, you start out at the level that they give you, you know, like, you start out like base level. However, a teen who goes to private school will start at level 2 when getting a job, even if it's on the newspaper. So, like, if they go to private school, apparently they're more elite. You know, mommy paid for them to, you know, go to private school, so now they can start their job at a higher level. Rude, but whatever. A sim getting a job from the computer will start at level that depends on their skills. So the number of friends and whether or not they have a university degree. So if 2 sims both apply for the same job, but sim A has a college degree and is real fucking popular and also is really good at fucking cooking.
Yeah.
And the job is for cooking, then they get started at like a level 3 or 4 as opposed to sim B who just rolled out of CAS.
And this is like, in Sims 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. In Sims 4, I think it's only if you have a university degree, right? Unless you get called and said, hey, you're so great at cooking, come be a chef or start at level 4 or whatever. Right?
Do they call you?
Yeah, remember, like, you'll be working a job and all of a sudden, I don't know if that's something that came with Get Famous or if it's in the base game now, but they'll just randomly call you and say, hey, you're really good at this. Do you want to be started as an actor at level 4 or do you want to work for a Secret Service? Have you gotten those calls? No? Okay.
Ava, have you gotten those calls? Do people want to
hire me at a higher level because I have a good reputation? Yeah.
Oh, it must be. Yeah, I think it's a reputation thing.
Yeah, it's reputation. Once you get a good reputation, they start offering you high-paying jobs. Like, you start at level 4 or 5 or something. It's like, hey, I know you don't have any skill in the painting department, but we thought you would make an amazing artist. Even though your stick figures look like they want to kill themselves, we think you would be perfect. And I'm like, no, I have a job. Please leave.
Your lack of ability is exactly what we need.
Pretty much.
Do you remember in Sims 3 when they'd be like, oh my gosh, we heard that you really are a mediocre cook. Can you please send me 16 excellent hot dogs? And you're like, what?
Oh my god, I remember that.
I don't want to send you 16 excellent hot dogs. I don't want to cook hot dogs for you.
Or like, can we just get a batch of cookies? It's like, aren't I supposed to just want to give you cookies? You can't just call me and ask for cookies. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, isn't something I'm supposed to do of the goodness of my heart, not you demanding it from me?
And then the higher you got in like skill level, like the harder they would give you shit they want you to bring. And I'm like, can you bring me some one excellent serving of ambrosia? And I was like, fuck you, are you gonna give me the ingredients for this ambrosia? No.
I remember you had to get like the angelfish and the death fish and the
it was so
life
hard.
Fish. Oh.
It was so hard. Anyway, all right, so a sim with a university degree will start at an even higher career track if his career is one of the preferred ones for his major, which is also happening in Sim 4. It's the only way to get an adult for a job that's the only way for an adult to get a job that's higher than level 1 is from the newspaper, by the way, in Sims 1 and 2. So the Sims with an appropriate degree who has skills and friends enough to be promoted to the top may use a computer to get a job as high as level 9, which is like almost maxed out. So like if you've got a bomb-ass degree and you've also got enough friends and all that shit, then you can start off as like about to max your career out, which is great because university takes 17 years, so you're already almost an elder anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
I do miss. I think it was Sims 2 or no? I think it was Sims 2 or Sims 3. Which one had that stadium in the corner?
Sims 3 had the stadium.
The Llama Stadium, where you can go see concerts and also go see.
Yeah,
that was Sims 3. You couldn't do any of that in Sims 2.
Well, my Sim, I remember the only one of the few Sims that I got from child to elder with married, and they had a kid. Me, kids, what? So they, she was a actress, and he was a professional player, sports ball player at the stadium, and like which is like a power couple, right? I agree. And like she would get picked up for her job in like a limo because
yep.
Whenever I don't see in Sims 4, I barely work. I'm that person, and I think that you just like disappear. You don't get a car anymore. But like before, when you would work, like you would get the carpool people would come and pick you up. There's always some random guy in like a sloppy jalopy car, which is I think is what it was called too.
Yep,
I think it was called a jalopy.
Yeah.
So they pick you up, and then like as you advanced in your career, like the car would get better. But I'm always like, why are you still carpooling? Can't just. And then you got a limo, and they'd come pick you up and drop you off for like your work if you were like super high up. But I always used to be really, 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 really into like maxing out my careers because I wanted to see what was like the end game of career
and
tracks.
Sims 2, the helicopter would come. Would the helicopter come for every career, or was it just like the politics career?
It definitely didn't come for. Ava's a Sims 2 expert. So does helicopter come all the time?
I'm sorry, since when is Ava a Sims 2 expert?
You have played it more recently than us.
You played it more recently.
I don't know. There was only like a handful of careers that I actually played in The Sims 2. I think the helicopter comes at like the top branch. Definitely for a handful of careers. I think definitely for politics and like maybe business or something.
That sounds right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know the military one comes picks you up in a tank or something, which I think is stupid.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, you're right. That is
the dumbest thing. I was like, who fucking rides around in a tank? This is not how this
works.
Going
to work. This is an accurate representation of the military. We just send tanks out to random houses to carpool. Yep.
And do you know how slow tanks are?
So the helicopter is the Pearson 206 Sim Ranger.
Ooh.
If Apartment Life is not installed, it only appears on residential lots as the carpool for the top-level jobs in the business, military, politics, show business, or paranormal careers. If you have Apartment Life...
paranormal?
That makes sense.
I don't know, because you're one of those psychics.
You're rich, I guess, yeah.
You're a ghost facer? No one supernatural? Anyone? Okay. Ghost facers is their version of the... What is that? What is the ghost hunters? But they're called ghost facers. Like ghost facers.
Oh Jesus!
it's really funny.
Is it a parody of Ghost Adventures? Because those Ghost Bros are hilariously dumb.
It's so funny though. Like it's because it's like it's within the world. So like sometimes they, like Sam and Dean run into the ghost facers filming like a show about a ghost, and they're like, we actually have to kill this ghost. So back up. Anyway, I'm watching Supernatural from the beginning again because I like pain. You're welcome. It's on Netflix, and I've got nothing else to do with my life. Anywho, I just have to figure. Oh, also, the military. Why is there a plane for? Why? Okay, whatever. I'm here for it.
Wasting taxpayers' resources is fun for
I
The
mean,
Sims.
once you get to the top of the military career, you're basically doing a desk job, right? You're basically a general, and then it says that your day is filled with government officials requesting your wise counsel, and a book deal for your memoirs is looking good.
Book deal.
Yeah, so you're basically just doing a bunch of paperwork at that point. So, yeah, I guess they would just, like, send a helicopter to take you to the Pentagon or something. I don't know if The Sims has a Pentagon.
As our friendly neighborhood editor just said, that's why you take a tank to work, because it's just not urgent. You can just slowly get there, because tanks are slow.
Oh my
They're not
gosh.
fast. The Sims Pentagon is in the
They're
shape of a plumb
faster
bob.
than you think they might be. I have seen them in action.
Oh.
Well, I mean, they're not slow, but they're not like, you're still not going to get to work like you would in a car.
I mean, true.
No.
Like, you just...
Then again, tank, traffic, you're gonna get there at the same time, but in one of them, you're gonna be sitting still all the time.
Yeah, also, I'm sorry. Back up a little bit.
That's a valid point.
You've seen tanks in action? Why?
Because my dad was in the military.
Oh, I mean, so was mine. But I just thought maybe, like, there was, like, Belgium had, like, just tanks rolling down the street.
No.
I
I
assume
mean-
not.
I mean, our beaches are getting pretty rowdy, and there are fights now. They did have to call in the federal police, but no army yet.
No tank?
No tank yet.
Ooh, is the
My
army
dad,
in Belgium
they
still
once-
voluntary?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
No draft. My dad was in the army, and at some point in his career, he was in the bomb squad, EOD, and they were discussing training them for like riot situations, and like they'd given them riot gear and everything, and then the brass was like, I'm sorry, you want the bomb squad to be active in riots? And they were like, yeah, okay, sure. What if somebody throws a live grenade that doesn't explode? Who are you gonna call? Well, you guys. Oh, well, we can't do it because we're at the front lines beating people with sticks. I don't know how you're otherwise going to. Oh, yeah, maybe we shouldn't put you out there. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't.
Ghost facers?
Maybe
Probably
just
not.
use your brain for like just one more second than you normally use your brain, and we can get this thing figured out.
I mean,
am I
literally-
talking about America?
That's
what?
seriously how I feel about most of my entire life. Just give me one more second of thought. Guys, just give me one more like second of solid thinking, and then we got this. All right, so before we get into a rant about the stupidity that is our life, so now that
The
you
world.
have a job, how do you get that Shimone? So that's money, guys. How do you get that paper, the cheddar, the cheese?
Oh my gosh, Mandy.
I'm trying to give other ways to say money. Them stacks, them ducats, them dollar bills, y'all.
Do you say ducats?
Ducats.
What is that?
Money.
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a word.
It is!
Ducats?
Yes!
Are you saying buckets or
No,
ducats?
ducats with the D.
Okay, here's a fun little Dutch lesson. This is something that the Dutch use, a slang word for money, not the Belgians, the Dutch. They call it poen.
Get the poon?
Exactly. You're
Like,
welcome.
like your punani? 'Cause
You are welcome.
poon is slang for your bits.
I know. So you're welcome for this nugget of language trivia.
Yes! I'm so here for this.
That was information that I didn't know I needed, but it was very funny and I enjoyed it.
So,
I looked up ducket. I had misspelled it before. With 2 T's, it's a fishing rod. So I was about to
Oh,
school
it's a K.
humanity. But I took out one of the T's, and it is ducat, slang for money, comes from ducat, ducat, I don't know how to say it, originally an Italian gold coin.
Ducats.
So yeah, ducats, money. Thanks, Urban Dictionary. You're the best. Also, one of the top results on Google is how do I get ducats?
Look. It's the top result in my Google history. How do I get them ducats? Which should be the name of this episode, by the way. How to get them ducats.
I'm sorry, but Duckets sounds like a fancy version of chicken nuggets, but made with duck.
Oh, should we
Duck
make that
nuggets.
a thing? That probably isn't good, or else it would be done.
I doubt it would be good.
No,
It's very difficult. I mean,
duck's too oily or something.
It's I wouldn't say it's
Greasy
oily,
or
but
something.
it takes. It's very finicky to cook because it has to be just done enough, but not completely done. It still has to be like pinky on the outside, and that's very difficult to check if you're deep frying.
Ew. I just don't want to test that theory.
No, it does not. The second it was said, I was like, I don't know if that's good.
The minute it was said, that we didn't like it anymore.
Duck is delicious, though.
If done right, yes. If done wrong, no. All right, so how do you get that shimoni in The Sims? All right. So you earn promotions by having the correct skills and enough friends. The number of family friends they need and skills they must have are highlighted on the job panel. That's across the board, actually. That's like across the board for all the Sims. Like, you've got to go to work and do a good job, which I feel like is just a normal thing.
Yes.
So job performance of excellent or maxed out job performance bar means a very high chance of promotion. Look, in Sims 4, it does not mean you're going to get promoted, though, which pisses me off. Like, I had my job performance bar was done, did all my tasks, and she still came home and with a regular amount of money. I'm like, what the fuck? Where's my promotion?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the mood plays a major factor. For Sims 4, whatever ideal mood you're supposed to be in, if you are in that mood, if you are, maxed out, excellent career, have done all the tasks, then it's pretty much guaranteed that you're going to get the promotion that day from what I've seen, just my personal experience. But if you're not in the right mood, or if you got to excellent during the workday, you're not going to get promoted. You have to already be an excellent to get promoted. It's kind of ridiculous.
All right. So one of my favorite fun facts.
Also,
go ahead.
Side note, sorry, if you guys hear thunder, that's me. I will try to keep myself mute when I'm not talking, so you don't hear it.
You're gonna try to keep the thunder down? You're gonna stick your
no.
head out the window and go, "Hey, I'm recording. Come back later."
Shut up, Mother Nature. God.
I wouldn't
But
shout at Mother
thundered,
Nature,
I
though. I
muted
think she's
myself.
already pissed enough at us because she's like sending
she
heat
is.
waves. She wants us to die.
Yeah, she does.
She's right,
Anyway,
but still.
She's right, yeah. But I had myself muted and a huge crash of thunder just went on. So if that happens again, sorry about it.
Nature. All right, so one of the fun facts that I absolutely love, and it's also a bit skeevy, is there's two. If a sim has a relative in higher up in the career than them, there's a small chance that the relative can pull strings, nepotism, to advance them in the career, which I think is hilariously gross. But
I love
my
it.
favorite fun fact: if a sim has a good date with an employee of a higher rank in the career, it could affect their chances of getting promoted. But it should be noted, however, that this employee must be at least 2 job levels higher than the sim being promoted. If you have a bad date, will you get demoted? Like, how does that work?
Oh, yeah. Scandal.
The scandal. So if your teen has a job, which teens can have jobs, I think from 2 and on, maybe, but I don't know. I don't really know much about Sims 2 just because it's like a fever dream for me. Like, I remember it, but I don't all at the same time because it was so long ago. So if your teen grows up into an adult and they already have a job, then they'll automatically be promoted. So yay. And then a sim with a good reputation may receive a promotion after networking with other sims. Yay. You can ask your job for a promotion, but it is not likely to succeed unless the asking sim has a high relationship with their boss. So again, if you bang your boss and you ask him for a promotion, odds are you're gonna get it.
Or really high charisma.
Yes,
like,
that too.
Really, if you're like 9, 10 charisma, golden.
In The Sims and The Sims 2, Sims who have been promoted get paid for that day's work at their new job rate, which is pretty snazzy. They also get a bonus of 2 times the new job daily pay. In The Sims 3, Sims will get a bonus of 12 times their previous level salary when they get promoted. So like you get you get a big ass fat ass bonus. Unless like your day salary is like $6, like when you do the actor career in Sims 3 and you're like a bus,
Yep.
like is the musical one where you're like a busker and like the like fucking like on the road.
Yep.
Like you're like busking and it's like you get paid $6 for the whole day. So it's great. They had nothing. So what you need in all of these to get yourself promoted though is a little help from your friends.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get high in your job without friends. Yeah, you need friends, which is unfortunate if your sim is antisocial, because they'll never ever get promoted if you don't have enough people that like you.
Which is kind of messed up. Like, I didn't have any. I moved to a new city when I got my job, so I did not have literally any friends, and I still got the job. So it seems a little messed up that you just, excuse me, I only see 250 Facebook friends. We're gonna need an even 300, so you're not getting hired for this job. It's like, how messed up is that?
Well, see, what else? It's not that you won't get hired. It's just that you won't get past your base level. You're just going to stay at that entry-level job position forever.
Could you imagine? That would be the worst thing ever.
I mean, it's kind of true in real world, though. Like, if people don't like you at your job, you're never going to get promoted.
Tell that to... Never mind. Just gonna skip over that joke.
I know where you were going with that, too. Oh, Lordy have mercy.
We're just gonna move on past that joke and on to the next one.
Okay. So basically, as a sim keeps getting higher in the career ladder, they have to make many connections in order to keep climbing. Higher levels in career track require more friends, so the requirement does not always increase when a sim gets promoted. So some careers require more friends than others. Careers in The Sims tend to require more friends than the equivalent careers in later games. So in Sims 1, you acquired more friends than you do like later on.
Yes, that is true.
What counts is not the number of friends the individual sim has, but the number of family friends. So, like, if your household has friends, then you're fine. But if you're the only one in your household, then you got to pull all the weight yourself. So
yeah. So I actually did this one time. I think I was doing a political career, and you needed X amount of friends before you got promoted. And I just kept having kids and it counted. It was so funny. I just kept having kids, and obviously we had like the max relationship. And so I think this family, it was in Sims 2, I'm pretty sure, because I remember she got the helicopter ride. But yeah, she had like freaking, I don't even know, 10, 12 kids.
She's like, I got this.
Yeah, it was like built-in friends. It was so great.
That's hilarious. You're like, hi, my kids like me.
Yeah, it works. So, fun fact, I don't know if that's still a thing in The Sims 2. That's a thing that I always feel awkward saying when something worked for me in The Sims 2, because I'm like, first of all, that was how many years ago? But I know I played that recently, like within, I remember playing it on my laptop, like living here in the Midwest. So I know it happened relatively recently, but who knows, you know? Everything is a fever dream right now. Let's be real.
Look, the world is a fever dream right now, okay? Like, yeah. I don't know what's going on 99% of the time.
Exactly.
You guys still dream? That's impressive.
Yeah, exactly.
I have very vivid dreams because of the trazodone. So it's a lot.
Whatever keeps you functioning and awake, there you go. Get it done.
Get her done. All right. Done. So now that we talked about all these things, let's talk about them JOBS's, because there's more words for that. It's jobs. All right. So basically, they kind of all overlap themselves. Sims 1 base game. You had business, entertainment, law enforcement, life of crime, medicine, military, politics, pro athlete, science, and whatever the fuck extreme is.
It
Extreme!
was sports, right? Pro
But yeah,
sports?
pro athlete. So what the
It
fuck is
was like
extreme?
skateboarder. Wasn't it? Like
Oh,
skateboarder, rock climbing. I'm gonna look that
like
up.
X Games?
Yeah, X
She's
Games.
in
I'm
X
pretty
Games
sure.
mode. And then
Oh
with
my god, I love that vine.
me too.
Oh my god, he's in X Games mode.
He's in X Games mode.
I love that. Oh my god, that's so funny. Okay, anyway.
All right. Then with each expansion pack, you usually get a couple more careers. Usually not. You usually don't get them with like stuff packs or with like game packs. You usually get them with expansion packs. However, that has changed as we've moved forward in The Sims. So in Live and Large, and you get hacker, journalism, musician, paranormal, and slacker. In Unleashed, which is their pets version, you get animal care, circus, which is problematic, culinary arts, education, and fashion. I have no idea why education and fashion and culinary arts are in Unleashed, but we're going to go with it. And also why cooking wasn't in base game. But it does, moving forward, it's always base game. And then your superstar, you get fame. I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna learn how to fly high.
I feel
was fame.
like Unleashed, they just were like, oh shit, we forgot to add a lot of careers. Just throw them in Unleashed. What's the next expansion pack? Unleashed, throw them in there. It's fine. No one will notice.
I honestly feel like that's what it is. It's like, oh fuck, we forgot a chef. Fuck, and they just like threw it in the pet pack. They're like, we got it.
Yeah, because that was the first. Wasn't that like the first major expansion pack? So that's probably why.
Yeah, they're like, oh god, we done fucked up. So then,
it's
Sims
nice
2,
to know that Sims has been fucking up since the beginning. You know,
right?
Just gives you comfort.
I feel it. So in Sims 2, they realized the error of their ways. So base game now has athletic, business, criminal, culinary. They put it in the original. Law enforcement, medicine, military, politics, science, and slacker. The slacker career is my fucking favorite.
Oh, it's
by
so
the
great.
way, it's the you get paid to be a bump on a log, and it's beautiful.
Like a gas station attendant. Like, it's just the most random things.
Isn't one of the ranks golf caddy as well?
I think so,
exactly. Yeah.
Like, you literally do the most, like, dumbass, menial jobs. And sorry if you're a golf caddy as your profession, like, your career. I don't understand how that works, but you do that. If you excel at it, you be the best golf caddy you can. I guess.
Advice from Mom Vanity. If you're going to be in the slacker career, you be the best slacker there. You show them all.
You be the number one slacker in the slacker careers. Go you. So when they gave you the university expansion pack, they gave you artist, natural scientist, which sounds like you're just a scientist in the nude, but it's not what it is. But that's what it sounds like to me. Paranormal and show business. And then seasons gave you the adventurer. Education, again, why is that in a seasons pack? Fuck no. Gamer, journalism, law, and music. I swear to you, I feel like with these packs, they're just like, what did we forget? And they just keep throwing them in there. Because, yeah. And then also your pets can have careers. They can be security, service, or showbiz, which means they can be a show pony.
Love it.
Or a show dog.
Pony.
Or a show
Can I just
cat.
say, I was looking at the slacker career, and number 10 of the slacker career is a professional party guest. So it's like, you're living, says, this is it, the ultimate lap of luxury at no cost to you. Living the good life, partying, and living in someone else's house, surrounded by more artificial friends than the best politicians in town. Enjoy it while you can. You get $600 a day to be a party guest. So is that like Kim Kardashian then?
What is that guy that was hanging out in O.J. Simpson's house? Kato Kalin?
Yeah, Kato.
Is it
yeah,
him?
Exactly.
It's just him.
It's basically what Paris Hilton was before she became a bomb-ass businesswoman, I guess.
Is she a bomb? What is Paris Hilton? I don't know what she does anymore.
She has like a fleet of perfumes.
Oh,
she was also a DJ, or is still a DJ.
Oh my god, I love it. That's so cute.
That's weird. Okay, so then Sims 3, where I become more well versed in these. Also, Sims 3 gave us something that the other ones didn't, but I will go in there later. So, base game in Sims 3, they were like, okay, what were the most popular careers? Let's throw this in the base game. We have business, criminal, culinary, journalism, law enforcement, medical, military, music, political, professional sports. They encompassed all that fucker and everything, and science. So, then you had late night, which just gave you the film career, so you can be an actress. Generations gave you a daycare career, which I thought was pretty cool. Showtime gave you the acrobat, magician, and singer. Did you guys have the Katy Perry Showtime? Because I did.
The special edition with her outfits, yeah.
I had that one.
I did not get her candy stuff pack because that shit was just too gaudy.
One of my fucking favorite packs in Sims 3, which was Ambitions. Ambitions gave you the ability to, all of the careers you said so far have been rabbit hole careers, where your sim would go and then the time would speed up and then they would come home and they'd tell you how they did. Ambitions was the first time that they gave you a career that you were actually able to go with them and do stuff. And it was so much fun. So they had...
It's like revolutionary.
It was so great. And they fucked up Get to Work, but they did so well in this one. Architectural designer, which means that you got, if you were a builder, you picked that job because you got to redo people's homes. Education, firefighter, ghost hunter, ghost facers, investigator, and stylist. Stylist was my jam because it basically just means that you go into cast and redo people.
Yeah.
It was my fucking favorite. So these careers made it so like you would go to work and then you would have to complete tasks while you're at work. The designer and the stylist, when like people would come to you and tell you, I want this, I want to be like this. And then you would either style them and hope that they liked it, or you would style their home and hope that they liked it. And sometimes they didn't. Even though you gave them everything they wanted, they're like, "Nah, this isn't it for me, sis." And then they don't like it, and it's annoying.
My favorite
Firefighter
with
was
that
cool.
pack was the tattooing. Do you guys remember the tattooing?
Oh my god, the tattooing was so great. The tattoo,
was so
you go get
cool.
your tattoo.
Yeah, you could like, and if you were a tattoo artist, you could like put like the different opacity. Is that the word?
Opacity. Opaqueness. Just put opaqueness.
Yeah. You could change that. You could like put a bunch of tattoos together to make a cool design. I used to do that all the time. That fancy black squirrely one, I remember I used to put that with different things to make it look cool. You know, just child Marissa things.
So the firefighter career was cool because you would go hang out at the firehouse and then you get a call that a fire was happening and you would go in the fire truck and go to the fire and you'd put it out. It was so fucking cool.
Yep.
The investigator one is just like, it's like a detective, so you have to go find clues. And then
which is so dumb in Sims 4. I'm sorry.
It's
the
so
detective work is
Sims
so
4.
dumb. Yeah, it was so much better in Sims 3.
In Sims 3, it had you hiding in a bush.
Yes, and digging through trash cans and like fucking like you. It's like that Kim Kardashian meme where she pops out of the GIF and she pops out of the side of the bush. That's how I feel like you were an investigator in Sims 3. Like you just popped outside of the bush.
It was so chaotic. I loved it.
It was so great. And then the ghost hunters, you actually had to go, like people would call you and say they've got like a ghost infestation and you had to like, and you would like suck them into like the fucking Ghostbusters thing. You'd suck them into their little machine. It was so great.
You could collect them, you could sell them, you could do so much.
Selling them made me really uncomfortable, by the way.
Just selling ghosts?
It just made me uncomfortable, but it was a thing.
Like, what a missed opportunity for the fan-voted pack that we didn't get that, like, pack that you could basically be a Grim Reaper.
Yeah, but let's face it, even if that had been voted for, it still would have been lackluster.
It's true.
I have no hopes anymore for this particular installment of The Sims, to be fair, because it's been a giant letdown on save maybe like 2 occasions. So no matter what they vote in community packs, I think it's always going to be a letdown.
Well, the problem is like while Sims 3 did fucking fuck your computer system up, like,
Yeah.
they did all of these awesome things in Sims 3, and then they tried to redo them in Sims 4, but then it's like, but bitch, we already had it and it was better. Like, you downgraded. It's like when you date
Yeah.
a guy and then you see his next girlfriend and she's like a downgrade and you feel bad about yourself. You're like, wait, time out.
Yeah.
This is who you replaced me with?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Okay.
that's exactly how it feels. And like, I'm sorry, controversial opinion potentially. I literally do not understand why they added candle making and fabrication and all this stuff to the Eco Lifestyle Pack. They should have saved all of those things, put them in the nifty knitting pack, but made it like some kind of hobbies pack and had knitting and fabrication and candle making and all that stuff just in a hobbies
But
pack.
then it wouldn't have been a stuff pack anymore. Then they would have had to make it a game pack or an expansion or something. And those stuff packs are just to make a quick buck. It's just a handful of stuff. I mean, the fact that we got new gameplay in a stuff pack is already
I was shocked.
different.
Yeah. Well, and I
But,
almost think
yeah.
Sims 2 did it best. I think it should. I don't know if this is another controversial opinion, but I feel like EA does best when they have expansion packs, and stuff packs are just stuff. Just cast items, build items, nothing else. And then they have expansion packs. I don't know, I feel like it was just simpler back then. Now with the game pack, and we don't really know, well, what's the difference between a game pack and a stuff pack, or a expansion pack, because some
I've been
game
over
packs,
this. I've been over this before. For me, it just feels like the game packs. I mean, the stuff packs have been there since Sims 2. Even though in Sims 2 there was a lot more in them. The game packs to
for
me
sure.
feel like a replacement of the Sims 3 store, because you had all these sets with like extra gameplay items, extra worlds, etc. coming out, and people wanted them and they would spend money on Sim points. I was one of those people, guilty,
Me too.
because some of that shit was really good. And now
I
they don't
never
have
did.
that anymore, so they were like, oh, we're going to have to rake in the money somehow, so we'll make game packs that give you an extra gameplay element and then have stuff packs on the side. That's what it feels like to me.
It does seem like that, but the issue is that it seems like they took the money, they took a little bit of money from expansion packs and a little bit of money from stuff packs and put them to make game packs. So now you have 3 different kind of packs that are all really lacking. Whereas if we just take it down to 2, we're going to have more of a budget to make it better. Because stuff packs are a joke in Sims 4. I'm sorry, they're not. They should be. Do you remember H&M stuff? How many outfits did we get for H&M stuff or IKEA Living? We got so much.
Well,
the
that's
catalog
the thing.
was huge.
In Sims 3, when they had the extra, it was, what it was. They had the one where it was like when you with the cars and the like a gear pack or something like that. They all look like they're like from the 50s or whatever.
Yes, yes.
It was a style. It was basically a whole bunch of casts and
yes, and you could
build
you
stuff.
Could build a
you
house.
could build a relationship with your car as well.
Yeah. And you could build a house full of whatever it was. So like IKEA, you could build a whole town with all the IKEA stuff that we got. Whereas in Sims 4, you get maybe 10, 15 build items, 10 pieces of cast. It's like nothing. And I feel like
you know how I feel about the amount of high fashion items that we got in the high fashion stuff pack.
Oh my gosh.
Was literally something you could count on both hands.
It was. I mean, what was the next pack they came after Mosquito? Because University pack had so much more clothes in it.
Yes. University had so many stylish outfits. University is basically it's like the base of all my Sims clothes. They're always wearing something from University, whether it's the sneakers or the jeans or a hoodie or whatever. It is like the standard. Why did that come out? And I'm glad it came out. Obviously, I'm really grateful, but that came out with an expansion pack. It's just. And I know we're not trying to do an EA rant or whatever, but it is. It always
just delves into an EA rant with us, doesn't it? Though,
it is like
That's the
It,
thing. That's the
yeah,
point that we've reached at this point, though. We are comparing Sims 4 stuff to previous generations of The Sims, and it always comes down to the same point. The Sims 4 is horribly lacking in content, in gameplay, in everything. There are a few gems in this series, but even those are just like, this is what an expansion pack should be. This is the norm. This should not be an exception. There's
And the
just a
things that
lack
yes,
of
were
exactly.
everything.
And then when you go back and look at, like, say, even as compared to Sims 3, the things that were left out with the packs that are supposed to be the same as Sims 3 packs, just different names, are ridiculous to me. Like, okay, so in the base game for The Sims for careers, you have astronaut, athlete, business, criminal, culinary, entertainer, freelancer, painter, secret agent, style influencer, tech guru, and writer. Okay? So it's cool. Like, I get it. But when they made the get to work, they gave you three only: doctor,
Yeah.
detective, and scientist. And I was like, that's great, except for ambitions gave us so much more. And yes, I know the
Hmm.
firefighter one would be hard. Well, actually, shouldn't be harder to do because you walk around in all of them. But
Yeah.
um,
No, firefighters should have been added, like some kind of fashion thing. Because the thing with Sims 3, they not only had a bunch of active careers, but then they had like the tattoo artists and the stylists, and they had all these other things. And the other thing, so when you said all the base games for Sims 4, freelancer and style influencer were not originally in;
no,
those were added.
they jumped those in because you were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this
And
is
then
lacking. Yeah,
But okay, detective directly correlates to investigator, and they're still completely like polar opposites. And I was like, you already
yeah.
had it.
Yeah, you had it laid out. And the other thing that kills me with detective, as someone who uses CC, it's a career that I really can't play because all the clues are based off of, oh, they have, purple hair and blue eyes or whatever. Well, if you have CC items, you're never going to find the suspect because, they could have blue hair underneath whatever CC the hair they're wearing or whatever, but you don't know. So I haven't been able to play detective really since Get to Work came out because I have so much CC. I'd have to take CC out to play as a detective. You know what I mean? And it just seems
Yeah.
kind of pointless.
But moving on, Sims 4 careers that you have, so we can say they were, because we can't like. All right, so when you get to work, you get doctor, detective, scientist. City living gives you critic, politician, and social media. Seasons gives you gardener and scout. At least when they gave you they gave you the pack and they gave you the careers to go with the pack, they made sense. At
Yeah.
least that worked, you know.
Yeah.
Get famous gives you actor and the drama club. The drama club is for teens and stuff. I don't. Was that a job?
Scout. It's a club. Yeah, it's the same as Scout. It's
Do they
just
get
a like
paid?
after school club. I don't I don't think
No, I was
so.
included in jobs, but whatever.
I don't know.
Strangerville gave you the military. Island Living gave you the conservationist. Discover University gave you education, engineer, esports competitor, law, and a soccer team player. And the eco lifestyle gave you civil designer. So the one thing I will applaud them is that they actually rolled out careers that matched the pack that they're giving you,
For
as
sure.
opposed to
Yeah.
Sims
It
1 and
feels really
Sims 2 when they were
organic.
like, huh? What did we
Yeah,
forget?
here's a dog, and you can cook food now. Yay. Like, okay, it was one have to do with the other. Yeah, I agree. And I love the careers with Discovery University. They are really fleshed out careers. They're really interesting to play. I really, really love these careers. But it is, when did Discovery University come out? 2019. And
Yeah.
it is Sims 4 came out in 2014. It's just one of those things where it's like, really? Do we have to wait 5 years for engineer and education and law? Like, really? Those are basic careers. I don't know.
Right. Like, those are the ones we got base game. Like, we would
Yeah.
get we got a freaking law base game. We got the military base game. We've always had military base games. So it was really weird that they put it in an expansion pack this time around. I don't understand,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
been base game the entire time. Um, and I don't know exactly what the thought process was on that, or maybe they just forgot about it, and then they're like, oh shit, well, since we're giving you this pack and you have their military as a major component to this pack. Let's give you the career track. I
I
don't
don't
really
know.
know.
It's very weird to me.
It's super weird. But when it comes to this is when it comes to like the careers in general, I do think that's a huge component in the game, because your sim has to have a job. And I remember back in Sims 2 when I was playing and I was young and idealistic and I had all those people stacked in one house. Like a lot of them were because like the first tier for the sports one was like you were like a mascot. And so a lot of them had like those one tier jobs and they made no money, so they would come home and all their money was used for food. And it was
Mhm.
very realistic because entry level jobs, especially in the US, mean that you can only afford to barely live.
Mhm.
And they
Yep.
ordered a lot of pizza. When I played The Sims, because that's all they could
Yep.
afford. That, and then when they burn down the house, they had no time to up the skills because they were too busy going to work and then coming home. It almost did
Yeah.
become. I think that's what they changed it a little bit as the games came out. They changed it because like Sims 1 and 2, I know that. I mean, the main part of your day was just working and then sleeping and then
Oh my
it
gosh.
was like
Yeah.
eating, sleeping, working, eating,
And
sleeping, working.
literally, and like you had to eat 2 full-size meals to even get half of the hunger level put up. It
Hmm.
was like so crazy.
And now I know in the game in Sims 4, like when you go to work, your hunger bar will go back up, like because you eat lunch at work like a normal human.
Yes.
So
I do really
like
like that.
at least you're not starving your sim to death. Even though I keep
Yeah.
forgetting to, even though I always like pack my lunch and then they never eat it.
Oh, I know. I
I
need to
pack
get
my little packed
Parenthood.
lunch and they don't eat it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
They
I put it
don't?
in your inventory so you can eat it at work and they don't eat it.
That's so funny. I am so because all the expansion packs are on sale right now, or everything's on sale right now. So there's speculation, a new pack might be coming out soon. Um, but I'm so debating getting Parenthood. It's the one where I'm just really putting, digging my heels in, not getting. But I don't know. I might have to get it.
I just look, you like kids, so parenthood should be great for you because you like children. Ava and I could literally take that pack and throw it against the wall.
I
Yep.
don't play. Okay, I'm a teacher, so obviously I do like care about the welfare of children.
I
But
mean,
I don't
I'm a human. I care about
play.
the welfare of children.
Yeah, I don't play with kids a lot. I'm forever, doing not so berry challenge, so I do have kids. But the most kids I've ever had was 3. I'm just not a big kid player. That sounds weird. I don't play with a lot of kids. I mostly play with like step kids. Does that make sense? Like I just marry someone who has kids. I'm like, yeah, that works. Like I'll take your kids.
Well, that's the thing with parenthood is like it's not like it just makes the kids so much harder. Like I really wish I could uninstall that pack, but I want
Yeah,
the
like
cast and the CC, and I wish I could
yeah.
uninstall the other parts of it. Like, but
You
I don't
think
know
there
how to
would
do that.
be an option to like turn off what are they called? Those cards, those chance cards, whatever, of the kids just popping up and saying, I don't know who I am, or I'm going through a bear phase. Like, you think you could turn that off?
And the worst part is there's no good answer. No
No.
matter what
Well,
you
I
do,
mean, that's the
something
beauty
is
of
wrong, and I'm just like,
that's the beauty of
fuck.
parenthood. Yeah, that's it.
It's the beauty of parenthood because parenthood sucks. But
Yeah.
yes, so,
Exactly.
but that's the. There are just certain elements that they did add into Sims 4 for careers that were great. They did add a lot more tech, like tech careers or like e careers,
Yes.
like with the
Mm-hmm.
esports competitor, or like with the tech guru, with stuff like that. They added more things that are you're a freelancer. It's a lot of it's like you can be a writer, a freelance writer on
Yes.
something it is. So they
I
added
like
more
that.
things, or like the blogger or whatever. You can do more
Or even
stuff.
like the social media career, you can do a lot of that from home. The critic career you can do from home. There's like a lot of things that you can not even go into an office. And I do really like that aspect of careers in The Sims 4 is that they've modernized them and they've updated them for how we're living today. They didn't just stick to the same old, same old. So I am glad that they aren't just making carbon copies of stuff they've done before, that they are trying to like, you know, innovate and modernize and everything. But the issue is it's like somebody who takes 10 years to say one thing when it could have been said in one sentence. You know, it's like they have 4 expansion packs or, you know, a expansion pack, a game pack, and a stuff pack that comes out that could all be put into one pack. But now we're paying 3 times over for really one item of content. And that's what bothers me. It just feels very scammy. The fact that we have to pay for all of these packs that
It
could have been put in one
absolutely
pack.
is scammy.
Yeah. And I'm not saying anything against the devs. I'm not saying that they are personally rubbing their fingers together going, ah, ha ha ha, we're screwing over the gamer. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it is an EA decision that is scammy that now the devs have to deal with. And that's frustrating.
Some of the stuff they make is genuinely nice. Like, I like the detail that went into the knitting. I liked some of the furniture that came with it, and
yeah,
you know, it's well made. It's genuinely well made. But it just feels like a giant cash grab at this point. Like, oh, we can make anything and throw it at these people, and they will give us money. And you know, we do. Because, you know, we're idiots who think that maybe this one will be better, and I don't think it's going to be better anymore. You know,
it's like an abusive relationship.
It's like an abusive relationship. You keep thinking it's going to be better, but we've been let down so often now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to get better.
Yeah. And, you know, the thing is, you know, pushing this idea of wanting Sims 5 to come out. Personally, I don't think I want Sims 5 to come out. Personally, I want competition. I want more game companies to come out with games like The Sims. And I know a lot of you may know this game called Paralives that's supposed to be coming out. Personally, I don't think it's going to be anything like how
weird.
I think they're over promising and under delivering. First of all, it's just too small. It's too small of a group. It's literally just one guy and like a couple of helpers. Like, they're not going to make this amazing game that everyone thinks it's going to be. Number one, sorry, Paralives creators, if you're listening, but you don't have the finances and the backing of a whole, you know, of EA. So it's never going to be better than The Sims. Like, just number one.
You don't have the votes.
Yeah, I mean, it is. There's nothing inherently wrong. They just don't have millions and millions of dollars. You know, it's nothing that is inherently wrong with them. But I'm glad that that's coming out because we need competition. We need more of these companies. Like, you look at Fortnite. How many different versions of Fortnite is there now? There's like Apex Legends and I don't even know, all the different Fortnite quote unquote games that are out. So Fortnite is having to keep changing things and being more interesting to be the best, you know, whatever those types of games are. With The Sims for 20 years has not had a good competitor. So we need, you know, whoever, creators, different companies to come out with a game like The Sims, and all of a sudden EA will very quickly start cutting the bullshit and making better game. But they have no competition, so there's no point. They know they can give us scraps and put a $30 price tag on it and we'll all pay for it. So they've been just getting too big for too long, and we gotta cut it. Cut them out.
Stab them in the kidneys. Eat the rich. Oh.
I mean, kind of. Like, we see what absolute power does. We see if you give someone just all the resources, all the money, all the power, they're not going to fucking do anything better. They're just going to keep gouging and keep undercutting. So we got to get some heat under them, right? So if you're a game developer or you're thinking about becoming a game developer and you're like on the fence about it, just fucking do it. Just do it. Just let's get some competition going, you know?
Do it, bitch. No, I get it. I understand. I feel like when I compare, that's the one thing I love and I hate about when we do these, like when we did the magic one and then we do this one, when we do comparison across all four, it shows the obvious, it shows the growth,
Yes.
and but it also shows the stagnation of it all. Like it shows growth from, of course, like Sims 1 is and Sims 4 are light years away. But it also shows how much you don't degrowth isn't a word, but you know what I mean?
No,
Like how
yes,
much
it's true.
the evolution
Because-
they have from 3 to 4. Like you show,
Yeah.
if you line up the same pack, which again, they're the same pack, they're just different name, you line them up next to each other and you take out the open world concept that they just can't do in Sims 4. You take that out, but you just still line up even the rabbit holes. You're like, what the fuck? Like you didn't even meet this, like Parenthood.
Yeah.
Seriously pissed me off because Parenthood it's like the cousin of Generations, and Generations did it right. I did not hate kids nearly as much as I hate kids in Sims 4. Like I didn't like. I mean Sims, and I like in Sims 3. Sims 3's kids were fine because I actually enjoyed growing up with them. Because I loved when they had to go to prom, you had their first kiss. It was fun, but now teenagers and their tantrums and they're just annoying to me. And I feel like all of the good parts of Generations they took out and then just gave me the shit parts and called it Parenthood.
Yeah, that's fair because there's no prom, there's no after school,
there's no
real
graduation ceremony.
Just a huge pile of shit. I'm kidding.
Honestly,
I'm kidding. You parents, you do good.
Yeah, none
you
of
do
us
good
are
work.
parents, so I guess we can't say
I think
much.
Two of us aren't ever going to be parents, but
Not ever. If I have anything to say about it,
but this is the thing. Like I think about it. I think about like why.
Yeah.
Why you do this?
And the fact that they just kind of, okay, we look at Tiny Living, Discovery University, Eco Lifestyle, Nifty Knitting. All of these are so similar. The style is so similar. The color palette and the color scheme are so similar for all these packs. It's like, why are all of these basically could all be one big pack or however you want to divide it up? But then you have, Parenthood and Vampires and Strangerville that are so have nothing to do with anything else, and they're so incomplete feeling. It's like they just like we shouldn't have to depend on other packs to round out another pack. Does that make sense?
My personal opinion
makes no sense.
Get rid of the stuff packs, beef up the game packs, and just charge a little bit extra. I would gladly pay you more for a game pack if it felt complete and if it had more stuff in it. If it felt like a complete experience.
I think Sims 2 did it best with stuff packs, where they just pumped out a bunch of build, buy, and cast. Just put a whole bunch. And I feel like the devs are depending too much on custom content creators, and that's why they're not beefing up their stuff packs. And I know that's to say,
probably
but
also
true.
why they haven't updated the skin tones yet, because
because they know
apparently that's
that
not
people
important.
have it. Yeah, they know that there's tons of CC skin, so they don't bother. And that is what kind of bothers me, because they still don't support mods and don't make it easy to organize your mods and delete. Remember when you could just delete mods and cast right away? That was so nice. So it's like you can't have it both ways. You can't totally shun mods and say we don't support them and we're not going to make it easy to incorporate them in your game.
Because then you have people. Then you have people like X Mira who made the melanin pack, if I'm not mistaken, who is doing your job for you and who is not getting paid.
And then I have this. This is where I get why there needs to be women and people of color in the room where it happens. You know what I mean? Because if you're sitting here giving us half-assed work, okay, great, you gave us some kind of like locks in the game. That took you 6 years to do, and then you finally did it, and they are like sticking out all over their head like they're fucking worms from their head. Like, you
Yeah.
give us,
There's no texture. There's no baby hairs.
You give
Yeah.
us something, but it looks like you gave us something that a white person made for a black person. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's what
Yeah.
a white person
Yeah.
thanks that a black person's hair
Yeah.
looks like, and that's what
Exactly.
you gave us. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but that's not what it
Exactly.
looks like. Like,
Mm-mm.
and yes, I mean, thank you for the attempt, but it wasn't. It's frustrating, or that's what
But
you.
what
It's
you're
like
doing,
You shouldn't
it's
have
a
to thank them.
caricature. It's a caricature of what you think it is, and I know it's a game, but I have seen CC creators, and they are not they're Maxis Match CC creators, make hair and make skin and make things that look like a black
Yep.
person, as opposed to a caricature of a black person. And I've seen that made, so I know it can be done. I just know that you're not doing it, and it's like, you guys have money and they don't. They probably have jobs and they're still doing it.
That's
But
what
anyway.
kills me. That's what kills me. These CC creators are doing such an amazing job making CC, and it is just now, because
Nope.
of Patreon, that they're able to get paid for their work, like a decent amount, and they're able to get the support that they need. And these people are working, or students, or parents. They have
Yeah.
full lives. This is something
the
most of them do when
end-
they're part-time.
Exactly. In the end, it just basically comes down to it that it is not their job. And that is what we're talking about right now. We're talking about jobs, and that is not their job. It is the dev's job. It is EA's job to make sure that these things are included. Because you get paid for it. Am I right, Vanity?
I
Yeah.
mean,
What do you get for your job when you do your job? What do you get?
Duckets.
There you go.
No.
It's true. It's true that how many people can just walk into their job, do it half-ass, and have no repercussions for it? You know what I mean?
I know
It's
a few people. I have a list.
I mean, I do.
That's
I do
true.
too,
I do
but-
too. But it's not the entire company that's doing that. It's just those few people that we know. But, if an entire company isn't doing their job correctly, why has this company been in business for 20 years now? And this isn't even with Sims with EA. I cannot tell you how many times Dylan is playing something and it's an EA game and he's like, oh my god, this is so incomplete. It's not fleshed out. He doesn't even play games by EA now. He just doesn't even play them anymore because they are inherently
I saw a tweet that
bullshit.
just perfectly encompassed everything. Like, the old EA motto used to be challenge everything. And someone tweeted out saying, hey, EA, how come you went from challenge everything to everything is a challenge? And that's basically it.
I
Get it.
love that.
But, by the way, just to steer this train onto the track, we're on a
I
track,
do-
not the right track.
I do have to say one thing. There is a Sims creator called Sims Trouble on Patreon. They make amazing curly and afro textured hair. If you are looking for that, Sims Trouble. Okay, moving on.
So I just want to wrap up the professions, just because, back on track, if you will. Each job has like work hours, which I really, I'm going to get into why SimSleep was better right now. So with different professions, you had like, a lot of them had no workplaces. Like acrobat had open work hours and no workplace. Magician, singer, and investigator had no workplace and open hours. Like, you can investigate at any fucking point. It takes, how like I was talking about in Sims 1, where you would like get up, go to work, eat like a bowl of cereal, make your carpool thingy, go to work, starve to death, come home, eat more cereal, go to bed, wake up, and repeat. Like, when
Is
you
that
have
not life?
open, it kind of is, actually.
That's
But
what
when you
working
have-
feels like
yeah,
to me.
that's basically life.
When you
Yep.
have open work hours, like, you're able to kind of work your job around, like, work days, not work hours, but you can work your job around life, because a lot of these careers require you to have skills, and when the fuck are you supposed to get these skills done? On your off day?
Yeah.
When also you're supposed to like make friends and do everything else?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
actually have a social life.
It's frustrating, but 'tis what it is, fam.
Hey, can you take this advanced Excel course? Oh, no, you can't do it at work. You have to do it at home.
Yeah, and not get paid for it.
Yeah.
Wait, is that my job? Yeah.
I think in Sims 4 you actually can build your skills at work, which is nice.
Yeah.
You could in Sims 3 as well.
Yeah, you can actually work on your skills, but it like decreases your job performance. So it's like,
Yeah, that's the thing.
What's your trade-off?
Yeah, exactly. And it's never like it's smoozing the boss or whatever, stuff like that. But I will say,
I'm not sure
that.
I'm not sure if building your
works.
skills actually decreased your work performance. I think it just didn't build it.
I think it was
like if you would talk to your colleagues or like hang out with people at work or whatever, that would decrease your work performance because you weren't actually doing anything. But if you were building skills for your job, I think it was just like, you build skills instead of job performance. I think that was it. I would have to double check.
No, that is exactly it. And with university, like, top tip, if you're struggling with like having a positive class time, when you look at your little Sim's face and there's a little briefcase by their face, click that. And I find taking notes and active listening, every time I do that, the little bubble afterwards is like, oh, the Sim got the most out of the class and they did a really great job. So utilize that because it is actually super helpful, doing different things while you're at work or school. But it's just, I don't know, it's such a small portion of the game. It's kind of weird that it affects it so well, I guess. I don't know.
But that kind of also leads us to, like, when you do a career, you have, like rabbit hole careers. You can, like, business as usual, work hard, talk to your coworkers, play your guitar if you're a musician. Or, what I mean? Like, you can, like, do certain things, but you got to kind of realize what it's going to do, like, for what you want it to do. Like, how you, like, but if you don't have time to, because a lot of them require you to have friends, like make friends with your coworkers. But the only place you're going to find friends, unless you go wandering around outside, is your coworkers. So you got to spend at least one of your work days talking to your coworkers, caring about what Sally's kid is doing in gymnastics, even though he's fucking 2 and he's just rolling around the floor on a tumbling thing. You got to care. You have to care. You have to nod and smile and be like, yeah, I totally care. You have to eat, Jill's horrible cookies that she brought in, and you're like, oh, these taste like asshole. They're gluten-free and vegan. They taste like cardboard, Julie, but I'm going to eat them with a smile because I'm just trying to...
trying to move up in the world.
Trying to move up in the world. Fuck. I made this mousse with avocado. Why?
Why would you do that to yourself? Please
It tastes just like chocolate. No, it tastes like avocado, Julie. It tastes like fucking avocados. You can't fucking tell me otherwise.
Oh my god, so true. So true.
But yeah, so you also have like semi-active careers, like careers that like you do some things but not other things. Like the medical career has an expanded feature that doctors can perform medical checkups to patients, but they're not. It's not like you can do it like to people like on the street.
Yeah, you could even tell them what gender their baby was going to be,
like
just randomly, which is like
I didn't look at him for this. It's like, can you please social distance and keep away from me? Thank you.
Right. But in Sims 4, it's really cool because you can go to 6 a.m. 6 a.m. 6 a.m. 6 a.m. How do we say? How are we saying
6 a.m. Yeah.
6 a.m. That's what I always thought. 6 a.m.
I call it 6 a.m. But that's not what this is. 6 a.m. But you can actually go there, which is pretty cool. One of the professions. Like, look, I'm not going to knock all of Sims 4 because Sims 4 does have its perks. They're just kind of few and far in between.
It does. I mean, it is beautiful. The Sims themselves look a lot better. The game is a lot more user-friendly. I think the controls of it are a lot more comfortable, but the issue we have is really with EA. The devs, it's not their problem. They're given a $5 budget and said make a game pack out of it. What are they supposed to do? They're just doing the best they can. So I don't have any hate for the devs.
They're doing their Kanye best.
Yeah, and they're given they're given $5 to make a game pack, and then they have to deal with the roaring fans who are screaming at them over stuff that's out of their control. It's like, you need to go to EA about your issues, please. Thank you. Goodbye.
Also, if you decide to go on vacation, like in Sims 3, if you went on to wherever the fuck La Champs was, it La Champs was what I used to call it.
Oh,
If
I
you
used to
li-
call it Le Champs too.
It's Champs Les Sims, like the Champs Elysees in France.
I call it Champs.
Oh, I did
Champs Les
too.
Sims.
I'm American.
American people.
But if you go there, if you go anywhere, then you're on vacation. Like your job stops. You don't get in trouble for it. Like you just be like, I'm out. Which I wish my job did that. I'd be like, hey, I'm out. I'm going on vacation. No one said shit to me. I didn't put in a request. I just deuced the fuck out. But unfortunately, no. But in Sims 3, and I do believe in Sims 4 too. But there's not really, we can, like, if you want to go like camping or some shit, like if you want to go on vacation, like an outdoor living, it's outdoor living that you do. You go camping.
Yeah,
I think
so.
Outdoor retreat.
It is, yeah.
Outdoor retreat. But if you do, so like your job stops, and then you don't have to worry about work, and they even tell you, don't worry about work, enjoy your vacation. You're like, oh, thanks. But yeah, that was good times. Have we talked about vacations yet?
I don't think we have.
I think we should.
That would be
They're one of my favorite
idea.
parts of Sims 3.
And I can tell you all about the Sims 1 vacation destinations and all
I
of the cool
love the
shit you
Sims
can
1
do there.
vacation. Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah,
can
we should talk
regale
about that.
you with the tales on how long it took me to get enough tickets to buy the crystal skull that I wanted.
Ooh, and when we talk about parenthood, I really had to hold myself back because I really want to talk about babies. So if you guys want us to talk about babies and vacations, let us know, because I really, really want to talk about the 3 people who do not play with babies. And, I want us to talk about it because I think it would be a different perspective. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you how much that's going to be a salty episode. Have your water ready.
Yeah. And I'm excited. So yeah, well, if you like those ideas, let us know. We're probably going to do them because they're good ideas. You're welcome.
All right. But I think we've covered, the base of the careers. If you guys want us to go into the odd jobs and the part-time jobs, or you want us to go into a particular pack, like deep dive into it, let us know. We can revisit this topic, but instead of doing it across all 4 platforms, you can just delve in on one platform if you so choose. So you let us know, and we'll do it.
Yeah, that's why we kind of do these overviews, so we can see where to go from here. Because if you guys don't want to hear any more about careers, it's totally fine. We don't want to make 1,000 episodes about careers if you guys don't want to listen to it. Coming in, we've had our break, we're chugging along now, we're refreshed, we're renewed. We want to make content that you guys want to hear, right? So just let us know, however you want to. Social media, Apple Podcasts, we'll talk about it. Let us know.
Yeah. So, who wants to take us out with these mother trucking? Oh, I do want to say, I know I said it last time, but I'm saying it again. Thank you for listening and being with us. And don't forget to review on Apple. I don't know why iTunes is so fucking important. iTunes and Spotify are the ones that people care about. Not people like us, people so that our name gets out there so more people can listen to us. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you could please like us and rate us, and then also review us. I don't care what the review says. It could just say Plumbob. But that word in the review bumps it up. If you just do a 5-star review and then don't say anything, that doesn't help. It helps, but doesn't help. You got to put a review in.
Yeah. You can literally say, hello, how are you? Or I like the color purple, or
and we
whatever
see them all, so
want.
we'll answer you if you want to. If you if you say something like, and then we'll be like, back on the next episode after we see it. So, I mean, I don't know what that noise was. So.
If you can find a way to type the noise that Vanity just made, that is our new standard for Apple reviews. Just the noises Vanity makes.
You're welcome.
Well, I guess I am steering this bus to end. So, we are potentially talking about babies and other ideas and the things that we talked about. Team Llama is doing a science project about genetics across the Sims series, with a heavy emphasis on the very built-out options for Sims 2. Do you remember genetics in Sims 2? It was very, very established. You can follow us on social media, PlumBobCast on Instagram and Twitter, PlumBob Podcast on Reddit, Under the PlumBob Podcast on Facebook and Tumblr. You can reach out to us on our website, undertheplumbobpodcast.com. You can also email us at undertheplumbobpodcast@gmail.com. We are also on Twitch and YouTube, so our new Twitch schedule is going to be Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Caitlin plays Sims 2 Legacy. Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Julia does her Remodel Oasis Springs Build Challenge. Saturday at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time is Multiplayer Day. And so definitely follow us on Twitter because that's where we kind of update our Twitch. So if a change, if a time change happens or if it's Julia's doing something else with somebody, they'll put it on Twitch first. So you know what's going to happen. So follow us on Twitch. Obviously, rate and review us, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, Google Play, Pandora. We also really got to shout out our resources on this. So number one, thank you, Vanity, for putting the research together. What is your resources?
The Sims fandom.
Sims fandom. So thank you, Sims fandom, for giving us the information about our careers. Also, we have just gotten the news here in the studio, live in the studio. Carl Sims 4 Guide has corona. So
husband Carl, drink lots of water. Be okay, hydrate.
We're wishing you all the best and a speedy recovery, Carl. Number one, wear your fucking mask so that Carl lives. I'm sorry.
And then he can go visit
I'm
Ava.
sorry. I don't fucking care about you. Wear a mask, okay? I don't care what your things are. Wear a fucking mask or stay inside. Don't talk to me. Number two, save your game. Even if you're not playing The Sims, save your game. Whatever you're doing, save. Lulu. And number one, also, thank you for listening. We love this game. Obviously, as you can tell, I've been talking for 65 years about it. We love the game.
65
we have
years.
A lot of enthusiasm. And we're really glad that you, and I know we had a little bit of issues with some episodes being posted and we got removed from a lot of our platforms by some random glitch. And a lot of you guys have had to refollow us on a lot of stuff. We really appreciate your patience with that. We don't really know everything that happened because we're not website developing people, so we're like, wait, what's going on? So we've just been working with customer service and trying to get stuff back on track. But thank you for that. Thank you for being understanding. If you're listening right now, because we post on Wednesdays, just triple check that you're actually following us or hearting us or whatever it is on your platform. Just make sure you're following us because a lot of our listeners got removed from Spotify and Google and stuff. So just make sure you're following us or subscribe to us or whatever while you're listening. And yeah, but we really appreciate it. And any concerns, questions, whatever you need, feel free to contact us. If something's going on with whatever platform you're listening to, just let us know and we can try to contact the whatever it is, Google or Spotify or whatever, and let them know you're still having issues. Yep, that's it.
That was very succinct. I liked it.
Well, I don't know. I feel bad because we get tweets a lot. They're like, hey, you're not posting on here, or I saw you were on this platform, but you're not on this platform. What's happening? We're trying to get it figured out too. Don't worry, guys. We're all together on this.
We're all in this together. But yeah, so we love you. Thank you. And I'm gonna go make some biscuits because it's time to go back to the real world.
Back to the real world. There is so much thunder happening outside right now, and it might start raining, so I'm going to stay inside.
All right, guys. Well, okay, bye.
Bye.
Excuse me. Hey, stop fighting.